Hi, I'm Toby Hodges, and this is the CNB 78. The first one, it's called One, and we're in Palma, Mallorca. We're going to take it out for a little sail trial. And yes, I said Palma, and yes, it is raining, but it came out, it was just rain, and the island needs it, and no wind at all. One of those days you might not get a sail in, but we just got out here, and we've got about 8 to 10 knots at the moment, and you can see the boat's heeled over, it's powered up, and enough to feel what's going on. So kind of the crew, Adonis and Nadia, to take us out here. And really to see what this same CNB 76 has got. You might have seen, sorry, 78 if I said 76. The old boat was the 76. This is the new 78. And you might have seen the walk around I did at the Cannes boat show last year. So we did a full tour of the interior from that same boat, and now taking it out, yeah, for a sail. So a couple of things to point out with this boat. It has the performance rig. So that is a 38-meter high carbon mast. With a really nice set of north sails on it. So that's 2 meters higher than the standard rig. Standard CNB 78 comes with a stack pack and an aluminium rig. And some owners choosing an in-mast, some going for this. So a V-boom, carbon boom with a single point main on a powerful winch there. And again, that really does depend on what sort of sailing you're going to do. So if you're going to have a professional crew, which most people at this size of boat will have, you know, this the South African couple run this boat, live on board most of the time, and the owners can sail the boat and do sail the boat themselves, but yeah, they have the crew on board most of the time when they're sailing and looking after the boat. Why I'm saying that is because having a big, you know, a big heavy boom and a powerful amount of sail area like this, it's handy to have a couple of extra hands to manage it. Yes, it's all still push button controlled, but you know, it makes sense certainly when reefing and that sort of thing, when you've got the halyards at the mast base as well, to have the extra hands. But yes, you can have in-mast, and the standard boat is stack pack. This also has the optional inner stay sail as well, which I think is a brilliant option for those, you know, doing passage making miles, really. See, that's on a self-tacking system. We've got the full Genoa set now, but that inner stay sail is on a Reckman furler as well, so easy to change gears. And by that I mean, so at the moment we're sailing in 8 to 10 knots of breeze, flat water. When that gets up, you stick a reef in that mainsail, and you do the same in this Genoa. And as Donis, the captain, was just saying, you know, that's the sails have been designed to do that. Then you put a second reef in the main, you put a second reef winding in on the Genoa furler. Then you put a third reef in the main, and out comes, you get rid of the Genoa, and out comes the stay sail. And you'll see on this mast that has check stays on here, which are just led forward at the moment to here. And that's just, you know, when you're in any, they're not running back stays, they're check stays, so they just stop any mast pumping when you're in bigger seas. But yeah, just reducing the sail area to a narrower triangle makes a lot of sense. So yeah, the option, the rig on this one, a big expensive option to take. Carbon mast, carbon boom. So that adds a lot to the price tag, as does having a painted hull. The owners of this really wanted a dark metallic painted hull rather than the standard gel coat. And then in terms of performance, well, we're just finding that out now, but you can see it's pretty easily handled. You know, it's a one-finger job in this light breeze at the moment. Powerful twin rudders, powerful shape. and stiffer by all accounts as well. This crew had worked on the 76 before this 78, so that was you know, built by the Veneto group before Solaris took over the yard about 3 years ago, and now they laminate the bulkheads in, and I'm told it makes a big difference in terms of the stiffness of the boat. So we are at loaded capacity at the moment, so just over 50 tons with all of the water and fuel on board, plus all the belongings, of course, and the toys and the tender, etc. So the fact that she is matching true wind speed from 6 knots up to 9 knots going upwind, so doing about 40, 43 to the true wind, and we've been matching that. And then once it gets to 10 and a half knots of breeze, it's looking about 9 and a half knots going upwind. And that's pretty respectable for a 50-ton cruising yacht. So it's a good sporty feeling here on the wheel. Quite impressed actually to come out in very light breeze initially, but then as the breeze picks up anything over 6 knots of breeze, we're matching it on the wind, about early 40 degrees to the apparent wind, and once it's up to a sort of above double figures, which we've got now, it's sort of sitting at, I'm guessing, hull speed around 9.5, just over, hard on the wind with a full main and genoa up, and you can see it, big powerful twin rudders set aft, powerful shaped boat. It slips along really well actually for these conditions, flat water, 10 knots of breeze, and you can get out and have a good yacht in these conditions. The layout works really well on the 78 as well, because you'll see from the inside as well, segregation of the crew and the guests works really well. The segregation of the crew cockpit, the guest cockpit and the sailing area is really good, and to have the mirrored systems essentially for both helms works well, so you can steer from windward with good visibility or from leeward. You've got the twin winches each side separated by the main sheet winch in the middle. Yeah, it's also choice of standing or sitting right outboard here. It's a comfortable place to chew away the miles when you're sitting on the wheel, which I think owners will want to be. You're not just going to put this boat straight onto autopilot. It's an enjoyable boat to sail. And then in terms of sail controls, really a tried and tested setup for this size boat, and having the 2, you know, powered primaries each side to control tail bags there for the sheets as well, and then this central main sheet plinth makes a lot of sense, gives you a bit of bracing to work at it, and it's a single point but with a powerful vang and a powerful main sheet controlling those loads, and with a professional crew to do it. Yeah, I think it helps extract the most performance out of this boat. If you are going to get, you know, if you are going for the taller rig, really nice sails package, carbon, that sort of thing, it makes sense. Powerful hydraulic backstays on this, and you notice from here it's easy to walk around from either side of these twin helms to get on the side decks as well. Got all your controls to hand, it's the same each side, so you've got your throttle controls, your thrusters, and then for all your sail controls as well. It's all very neatly done because there's a nice place to perch out on this aft position as well, so you can either stand with a raised platform, as Stephen has at the moment, or sit right outboard with a nice view forward. And you see the nice sheet lead from the primary here running forward along the deck, kept any tripping hazards off the side deck, and yeah, that's on a longitudinal track further forward there with the staysail on a self-tacking rail. And yeah, we got the spray hood up and the bimini today, and it makes sense, keep that cockpit dry. That's obviously the place guests are going to spend a lot of time, eat their meals and that sort of thing, and you can have a winter package which covers this whole cockpit area as well, which I'm told is a really nice thing to have when you're spending the winters on the boat as well. So I know we did a full tour from the Cannes show, so I won't give you another full tour of the interior and stuff, just link to that video, but have a look at this. I want to show you a few bits of it, especially while we're at sail, at heel. And for those that haven't seen what the boat looks like inside as well, it is a home from home. I mean, it's a beautifully styled interior by Jean-Marc Piaton, and this raised saloon, sort of semi-deck saloon really, area to enjoy all this space from you know, and a near 360 view of the thing that you come on the water for in the first place. Makes a lot of sense. Good handrails coming down the companionway, good lighting, natural light and indirect light. Could do with some sort of handhold going forward from here, just across while we're at heel. I'd probably insist on one of those. But then, yeah, this, you'll get an idea about what I mean by the stiffness of the boat. So these are fully laminated in bulkheads that the Solaris use, like they build their yachts. And that means a stiff boat and a quiet boat. We're quite well heeled over now, doing between 9 and 10 knots. We're right under the mast base. And it's pretty quiet. You don't have to take my word for it. Skipper's word, you know, he said it's night and day really. Don't have the movement that the 76 had. And that is lovely, isn't it? I mean, most of these CNBs all stay in the Mediterranean. Having a forward owner's cabin makes so much more sense for aft stern tube berthing. But look at the view right through there. Still get some privacy, and obviously you can close the door, but you can see right through to the galley and crew area from here. You can see the length of your yacht that you've bought. Very nicely done. It's one of those days that's getting better and better. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, but wanted to show you a little bit what it's like while it's a bit brighter. So we have now had a stable sort of 10 to 13 knots of true breeze out here off the Bay of Palma, and yeah, it's lovely. Been sailing upwind and now reaching back towards the island's capital, sort of more fetching really. So what are we, 60 degrees to the apparent wind, full main in Genoa, and we're averaging between 9.5 and 10 knots. You know, these are good average speeds to be making really. Yeah, flat water, but it's also an enjoyable experience. It's a fun boat to helm, you know. It's still very light obviously in these modest breezes, nice angular heel, and it's, yeah, haven't wanted to leave the helm really. It's good fun. So that, yes, let's come back to this expensive carbon hull spars rig, and good sails. So it's going to help you, for those that spend their time in the Med and the lighter breezes sailing as well, then having that extra performance will help you get the most out of the boat. But I think it will also be an enjoyable passage making boat as well. And how you rig it will be how you do this sort of sailing. So, you know, having this single point main on a main sheet plinth like that, and an in boom furling, it's something a lot of maxi yachts use. Yes, I know there was the tragic accident on one of the old 76s that had this similar sort of setup. But as I say, that's, I think, coming down to a little bit as well, apart from misfortune, is having crew to handle that situation. Whereas, you know, when you're handling a boat as a couple, short handling, you probably have an in-mast, maybe even a stack pack sort of setup. But this one is proven for doing this sort of sailing with. Another thing to mention here is, yeah, you've got a gap between these, but you'll notice here fittings for a granny bar that goes around that, so you've got a bracing point central as well. Nice, big, generous, protected guest cockpit area as well, totally separate from the sailing systems. I like that. Plenty of sail area on this as well. So Adonis had just finished washing the boat. when I came onto it this morning, and that is the Saharan rain that they've been enjoying in Palma this week. Absolutely filthy, sandy rain. Huge, great flush foredeck area and a big sail locker in there that I showed you from the Cannes tour. It can be fitted out as a crew cabin as well, but the crew accommodation on this is brilliant. So it's full of fenders at the moment, which they normally deflate. That is actually technically a removable bowsprit. So in terms of rating the boat, it can actually, when you're given a length, would be 23.92 meters, I think. So as we head back in towards the Cathedral of Palma, a few things I really like from spending a bit of time aboard the boat. As I said before, the layout, the amount of space given to this cockpit area. I mean, you just have all of your meals up here, wouldn't you? It's superb. A good amount of comfort and protection up here, with an easy descent into this interior, which if you do want to then, you know, eat here, there's plenty of space to you. Those tables join, and you've still got, you know, the views you want from in here. That would also create a nice big den as well, because those tables drop and join, fill them in. Huge, great daybed area. And then to starboard here, I did show it before, so they got away. One of the big changes over the old 76 was doing away with the chart table, which is now back in the galley mess. And this is just a sort of drinks area, so there's a fridge behind here, coffee machine behind that one, and then the occasional table with a tray that pulls out here. And then it's stowage beneath here, beneath these chairs and everything. Again, it's this. That's what I think it is a big difference over quite a lot of other yachts of this size, is having this proper raised area to enjoy your surroundings from, which links so easily, obviously, to that cockpit. It's not big areas at all. Crew and galley, aft. Those big views forward, the big long view through the boat. And then that's, yeah, as I said before, on the tour before, that's the other big change. It's only 2 foot longer, but the beam that is both carried fore and aft is enough. It's still the same beam, but it's enough, 6.1 meters, I think, to give you a double rather than a bunk cabin in here. And this is a spacious cabin. You know, it doesn't end there. You've got walk around space, you've got good stowage space behind there. Nice, big, ensuite, separate shower. So these are both effectively very nice guest cabins to have. So those twins there, you can move the central port and they join up just to be a double as well. So no cheap seats, and then this obviously very, very nice apartment suite of a master cabin forward. That berth, the headboard can be, I think even as standard, is aft here, slightly offset that berth. But most 90% owners so far going for this setup, and you can see why. I mean, wow. A lot of light, a lot of headroom, massive amount of space, great sized desk, those working on board as well. Very, very impressive. A little bit of natural light going through into those guest cabins from the saloon area as well. And this is what I mean about the segregation, because you come down here, again, you know it from the 76, you know it from the tour before, but that door closing off this area here, and you've got this lovely big galley here, which, yeah, it's not very different from the 76, but having this little nice mess area where you've got a nav station part as well, that is just serving us up some butternut squash soup. Delicious. But that is a good size galley. Still got an escape hatch through there. Good size crew cabin as well. As I say, just clever door there that separates it off. And access into that beam wide engine room there. I won't show it again, but I went in there earlier. Insulation seems to be really good on this. Yeah, I think the layout of this 78 is one of its very strongest features, both inside and out, on deck and below. So this CNB 78 starts at around 3.5 million. So fully equipped, sail away price about 4.5 million, or probably more like 5 for this one we're on. I'm impressed with the design and the build quality as well. And I think it sits in a nice place in the market for those who are, like to sail in warm waters, particularly, but want to do passage making, want to do Atlantic crossings, want to maybe do a world tour at some stage. But as I say, mainly they're based in the Mediterranean, that sort of thing. But they want a boat. They're not going to race it. The short-handed crew can manage this, run by a couple classically. And I think it's a good all-rounder. It sails well, it's easy enough to handle, and as I say, the layout is brilliant. Really, really very good. It's tried and tested. They took the 76, they've improved on it. Next up comes the 62, which will replace the old Bordeaux 60. Exciting times for CNB under the Solaris brand. Hope you enjoyed the sailing tour. See you next time.